My name is David. I live in the Philippines. Today, we'll be talking about accessing doctors in the Philippines that are medical specialists. You know, ENT, orthopedic surgeon, rheumatologist, the whole shebang. In the US, it typically takes months to get an appointment with a doctor that is a specialist. And good luck finding a specialist that takes your insurance. I hear that the UK, Canada, and Australia have similar wait times. The video is in two parts. First, we're going to get in touch with a specialist in the Philippines. We'll look at the costs and the wait times to meet such a doctor. The second part is going to be a real world end-to-end medical procedure with a specialist, a urologist. The medical procedure is my vasectomy. You'll see a copy of the bills and I'll toss you a few tips along the way. Remember, this is the Philippines. The medical schools are taught in English with English textbooks. In any major city in the Philippines, all the medical and billing staff will speak English. Part one, how to meet a doctor and get some tests run and get a prescription. I was in Texas Roadhouse the other night, and one of the guys there was my friend Jim. He asked me, he wanted to get his thyroid medication updated, but he wanted to get some medical tests first to adjust the dosage. Yes, this conversation really happened at Texas Roadhouse. To do this, Jim should install a Filipino medical app on his phone. There are a bunch of such apps. I use Consultant MD. To sign up, you do need a Philippines phone number, country code +63. I tried using my US number, but the app rejected it. To pay for the service, you'll need to add a payment method, so GCash or good old-fashioned credit card. Once you're signed up on Consulta MD, search for a doctor, but wait, you may need to do some homework. Jim has no plans on visiting a doctor in person, so Jim will be happy just to pick any doctor from the list. If you need to meet the doctor later in person, choose a doctor with an office near you. When you pick your doctor, there will be two prices. There's one price for an immediate consultation. That will be about 700 pesos with a 50 peso app fee, about $13.50 to get an immediate appointment. There's a meet later in the day or later in the week rate, 500 pesos with a 50 peso app fee, or about $10. Every doctor sets their own price. Some will be lower, some will be higher. At the time of your appointment, you call the app. It's a video call. The doctor can send you a prescription on the app after you talk. The doctor can send you a medical lab request on the app. My friend Jim will need to take a lab to a place like Medical City. We have a branch 100 feet from my building in Eastwood, Quezon City. A lot of malls have clinics with labs in them. Pro tip, arrive just when the clinic or lab opens. Medical City opens at 7 a.m. By 9 a.m., the lobby of Medical City is packed, so get there early and get it done. Jim will have to send the lab results back to the doctor after they come in. The doctor can then deliver the prescription to Jim using the app. I did a tutorial that discussed scanning documents like lab results using your phone. The Philippines uses a lot of paper, so scanning is just part of life. Jim should save the prescription to a location outside the app. He may need it in the future. One little warning, some medical facilities, like Medical City, require you to wear a mask. Some people do not believe in masks. Shop around and find a place that does not require masks. Part two, my vasectomy. My wife just had twins. She told me, get a vasectomy. I found a doctor on Consulta MD, but I needed to do research. I wanted a doctor to perform the procedure at St. Luke's Quezon City or St. Luke EGC. I paid $10 for the consultation. The doctor asked one question. Are you happy with the size of your family? I told him I had 6 kids. The doctor busted up laughing. I called the doctor in early January. I said I wanted the procedure done in 2 to 3 weeks. He had no issue accommodating me. The doctor sent me a lab request that I had to perform. I took my phone and the app to Medical City. The receptionist just typed in the tests I needed. Here's the receipt. 7,425 pesos or $135 for blood work, EKG, urinalysis. What's nice about the Philippines is that a doctor will often give you their Viber or WhatsApp. You can use Viber or WhatsApp with their staff. I actually use Viber to send the labs back. Jim's request was a little simpler. He likely did all communication with the doctor through the app. Now, in America, we have something called HIPAA, which limits our ability to get our own medical records. In the Philippines, they'll just send you an itemized bill via a chat app like Viber. It's just handy. In the US, you actually need a fax machine to get a copy of your bill, or you have to wait to get a copy of your bill in snail mail. A few days before the procedure, the doctor messaged me on Viber. The doctor asked if I preferred to shave the area in advance. The hospital could provide that service. I told the doctor, my wife will handle that. We're all adults here. It's how a married couple handles such things. I was required to have someone accompany me. My wife came in with the day of the procedure. The staff was really polite and respectful. They knew she was 30 years younger than me and they treated her very well. In America, they'd have assumed she was my adopted daughter. During the procedure, there were 6 people in the operating room. I'm pointing this out because the costs were really inexpensive, given how many people took part in the procedure. Now, during the vasectomy, the staff slapped a bunch of cold stuff on my private parts, well, to clean them. The cold liquid made the region tighten up. The procedure was paused. The staff had to run a hose along my body to blow hot air on the region to loosen things up. I picked local anesthesia for the procedure. I prefer to limit how much time I spend under full anesthesia. I have twin babies. I want to reduce medical risk. How did the local anesthesia do? It was a pretty painful 3 hours in that surgery. My wife gave birth to twins. She had it much worse than me, so I am really not complaining. When you're done, you have a medical bracelet on. You will need to go down to the second floor and settle the bill. The bracelet is so the guards at the front door don't let you escape the hospital without paying. Yes, you could cut the bracelet off and flee. I paid with a credit card and I brought the proof of payment back to the surgery unit. The admin staff in the surgery cut off the medical bracelet. Here's the bill. St. Luke's Quezon City received 28,000 pesos or $500 US. Remember, St. Luke's provided an operating room with 6 people in attendance. The doctor's fee was a separate 50,000 pesos or $900. The total time at St. Luke's was about 6 hours. It took us 40 minutes to get there by Grab. It took 2 hours to get home because it was rush hour. My wife was breastfeeding at the time, so it was a long time to be away from the twins. A week later, the doctor wanted to meet in person, a follow up visit. He charged me 1,500 pesos or $27. The visit was something like, how do you feel? I replied, fine. And I paid the doctor 1,500 pesos. The doctor and I had a little bit of chit chat, but it wasn't really 1,500 pesos of chit chat. After the consultation, I went to the first floor and I picked up sample jars at the lab because I need a sperm count to be performed. I asked the lab staff, can my wife help me at home with the sample? And the medical staff was comfortable with that. They gave me 2 sample collection jars. I went to the billing office to get a full itemized copy of my bill. I need this for US reimbursement. In the end, I had a $1,600 reimbursement from my health care FSA, which is an American thing. The $1,600 also counts towards the deductible of my US health insurance. All the money I spent was pre-tax. I picked January, so the $1,600 knocked off my deductible at the start of the year. You could get the vasectomy for less than $1,600. It was pre-tax money, so my real costs were about $1,000. I figure if there's a complication like, Lord forbid, I have a heart attack, I am at St. Luke's already. I've got twin babies at home who are really young. I'm very risk adverse. The downside to all this is I have to wait 3 months before I can collect my sample and take it to the lab. That would be the sperm count test to prove the vasectomy took hold. What is my wife using to prevent pregnancy right now? Catch you in the next one. The official video is over with. I wanted to show a few things about my channel. I'm not really concerned with how many views a video gets. I really want viewers to learn something useful. I did a video on 3 businesses you can start in the Philippines as a foreigner. 99% of my subscribers are not interested in the topic. The topic was requested in the comments of a different video. I knew it would only get a few views. I make videos based on what people want to learn. I had 2 guys comment on the business idea video. One said, "Clever ideas." I've done business in the Philippines for 2 decades. My video was real ideas, not just open a sorry store. Another guy in the comments asked me 4 or 5 questions about one of the business ideas. It was very clear to me that he had a special person in his life who was in the Philippines, and he wanted that person to start up that business so he could help. Anyways, thank you for watching. Feel free to ask for a video if there's a topic you want me to cover. Out.